I grew over 3 inches taller after my growth plates closed by fixing my anterior pelvic tilt and other posture issues. No surgery, no magic supplements, no BS. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happened and how you may be able to apply part of it to yourself. Most of you have absolutely cooked posture and don't even realize it. You're probably watching this hunched over your phone, scrolling like this, aren't you? You sit all day, you've never been taught to move properly, you barely warm up at the gym if you go to the gym at all, you don't sleep enough, you eat like shit. As a result, you've developed an anterior pelvic tilt, rounded shoulders, forward head posture, maybe even bow legs in some cases, and you're just nowhere near the tallest, most aesthetic version of yourself that you're supposed to be. This is not about hacking your genetics, it's about restoring what's already there and modern compression took from you. Here's where everybody gets it wrong. You hear anterior pelvic tilt and you think stretching your hip flexors, strengthening your abs, bird dogs, clamshells. You tried that routine, haven't you? And it didn't work very well. And that's because you're treating the symptom and not the root cause. Your hip flexors aren't tight because they're too weak or too short. They're stuck there because your body is stuck in a pattern. You stretch the hip flexor and you feel better for about 5 minutes. By the time you've gotten back to your desk, it's completely reverted. The pattern and the nervous system recreate the tightness every time. The wrong approach plus the wrong order means the wrong results. What actually fixes it is targeting the root cause in the correct order. There's the nervous system, there's the joint mobility, there's fascia, guarding, strength training, everything goes together. Get it wrong, miss one piece, and you just don't get the results you want. You get it right, and within a couple weeks, you start feeling better, feeling looser, looking taller, looking more aesthetic, and everything improves for the better. I'm going to walk you through the exact sequence I use step by step, but before that, there's something very important that's going to affect whether you get these results or not. So there are two types of anterior pelvic tilt, and which one you have determines which solution is going to be the best for you. The way we're going to determine that is by taking our hip internal external rotation, laying on our back, bend the hip and knee up to 90 degrees, let the foot rotate in as far as you can go. This is external rotation. Then let the foot rotate out as far as you can go. This is internal rotation. Now, regardless of which type you have, you still want to start by getting the pelvis neutral with a 90-90 hip lift. You start by getting your hips and your knees at a 90-degree bend against the wall, foam roller, or some sort of pillow between your knees. You start by getting a nice long exhale through the mouth. Pretend like you're letting water out of a faucet. At the end of this, you should feel your lower back flatten out against the ground. And you want to squeeze the roller with both knees, drag your heels down on the wall without moving them. You'll see here, this is going to lift my lower back off the ground a little bit. From here, I'm just going to keep breathing in through my nose. Let my ribs open up. Exhale through my mouth till the ribs tuck. We're going to hold this for about 2 sets of 5 to 8 inhale-exhale cycles. Okay, now remember what type of pelvic tilt you had in those hip measurements. If you had less internal rotation, we're going to fix it by activating your hamstring and your adductor to get your pelvis back into place, restore that internal rotation so your pelvis stops tipping forward on both sides. My favorite exercise for this is the side lying adductor pullback. Same foam roller between your knees. I'm going to get in a 90-90 position at the hips and the knees, so 90-degree bend here. I'm going to get the same exhale through the mouth. Like you're letting water out of a faucet. You're going to squeeze this roller down with your top knee. You're going to drag this foot backwards in place without moving it, and then you're going to hold this position. As you do this, you're going to feel some inner thigh activation and some activation on the back of your leg. Just hold this, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, 2 sets of 5 to 8 breath cycles here. Now, if you had less hip external rotation, we need to fix it by getting your glutes to activate to push you out of that side, restore external rotation, so that way you're not using your low back to do stuff like walk or run. For this, you're going to need a resistance band. You're going to put it between your knees like this, in the same 90-90 position on your side. Here, you're going to do things a little bit differently. You're going to drive this bottom knee into the ground. You're going to push this top foot into the wall. Now you're actually going to drive the top knee forward over the bottom by about 6 inches. You're going to push into the wall. You're going to hold this while resisting the resistance band. Don't let your foot go down. Don't let it go too far up. Push and hold and breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, 2 sets of 5 to 8 breath cycles. This is for if you have reduced external rotation. So now that you have my personal 3 exercises for fixing pelvic tilt and posture, you need to understand what to do with it, how often. I would do this once in the morning before you leave for work or school or whatever. 2 sets of 5 breath cycles like we said. then once before you work out in the gym if you're going to train that day, and then once before bed. So take about 15 minutes a day for doing all three of these together. That's not the only thing. There's a ton of more factors that determine whether you get the results and compound them, or you just plateau, feel a little bit better, and never truly get the results you actually want. These are the factors I talked about earlier: your guarding, your nervous system, your sleep, your strength training, whether you're actually progressing them into the gym, your gut health, how much is your pelvis being pulled forward by bloat from a bad diet. These are all a bit more complicated, so I'm going to talk about that in part 2. For now, stay consistent with this, and I'll see you in the next one.